All right, guys, this is Charlie Barley. Welcome back to another beautiful day of me demoing what I'm going to call is the best algorithmic software for the game of Baccarat. And I'm about to do this for roulette, by the way. So stay tuned. I think I understand the codes that I need to create to do this also for roulette. But it's essentially what I'm going to deem is the best algorithmic strategic software maybe ever created. And you're probably looking at the views, you're probably looking at that and saying, oh, it can't be because you're not well known. Well, you know what? That's actually a good thing because something this good doesn't need to be known. I'm not looking to bring on the world at all. I don't need the world, and neither do we want a whole bunch of people doing this because we don't want to be that popular. The good news is that we don't have a huge following and population at the moment, and I don't have that sort of interest. But in doing so, guys, I'm going to be using RNG. And as I said, I'm using RNG. RNG is, I'm not going to call it a scam. I'm going to call it a ripoff because it's not real. And even if you look at, let me see if I can pull this up really quick, guys. My user sent me, before I get started, let me just show y'all something here. Let's see. Let's see. It was in here somewhere. Where I think this is it. Is it J? Maybe not. Hold on. He sent me a. He sent me. Where is that? There we go. He was playing, Jim, he was playing on RNG, which is what you're seeing here. And the reason he was playing in RNG was because he felt that he couldn't keep up with the speed of it live, because in the live setting, you have to update. Once you start to do it, you'll see it's actually slow. You have a lot of time, but at the time he didn't think he could do it. So I said, I'm not a fan of RNG because I don't understand the code. I can't see the code, so therefore I can't trust it. But what he did though, he sent me the rule. He started playing, and one of the things we noticed was when he increased his minimum bet or he put more money in, that the thing just turned on him, literally. And a lot of you guys have probably witnessed that or had some type of effect with that as well. So he ended up taking and looking at the rules of it. I want to read this to you guys really quick, and then we're going to get started. But this is ridiculous, guys. This is why RNG is such a scam. It says, cards are dealt to both hands and points are calculated according to certain rules. The cards are shuffled before every hand. Here's the problem I have with this already. Number one, this is RNG, guys. This right here. When we press deal, these are not cards. This is not a card. Those are not cards. Okay? So when they say cards are shuffled, these are not cards. Let's go further. The cards are shuffled before every hand. In what game of Baccarat are cards being shuffled every hand? One of the reasons we have success is because of the patterns that are formed upon a shoe of cards that are shuffled. But if you can't shuffle them every hand, so you're already not playing the game of Baccarat. But here's where it gets even crazier. Rule summary: played with 8 decks. So I told Jim, I said, Jim, when you look at this RNG, do you see any decks? Do you see any cards? Do you see any shuffling? The answer is no. And if you understand anything about the casino industry, it's nothing. This is a slot machine. And if a casino has, say, a bad night on the tables, maybe they lose $500,000 last night on tables, you know what they're going to do? They're going to attune the slot machines to do a certain payout. It's really easy to, because these are not cards, guys. This is nothing but a code. These are computer codes. These computer codes can be easily manipulated and controlled. And you could have this thing, you could do an easy code that says if player A hits a certain threshold, or if players 1 through 1,000 hit a certain threshold, then whatever they press, the outcome will be the opposite. And you could even do it based on a fraction of how many games they play. It's easy to manipulate that. So that's one of the reasons why we don't do this live. The only thing I'm doing is showing you guys, and as I've often said, if you could master RNG, you could really do it, because the live games, and by the way, we do this live. And for anyone who thinks, oh, he doesn't show this live, so it can't be true, I am willing to bet you live. I'm willing to do a challenge with you live. For all those who don't, because what I'm doing is offering you guys an opportunity to make some money, because that's what we're doing. And the only way to make, for me to make the kind of money that I'd like in this market, I have to grow. And I have to make this great. And one of the reasons why this thing is the best, it's the best I've ever done, and certainly the best I've ever seen, is because we're able to do what I call volatility trapping through the use of 4 separate algos, of which every game we play, only one of them will lose. Which means when you see, like in this case, you see how this algorithm here has a bunch of -3s and this one has a bunch of -3s, but this one doesn't. It's because of the way the cards are shuffled. When they're shuffled, it creates a certain volatility when it's ran through this algorithm, of which we can clearly see the algorithm that is top performing, or the top 2 top performing algorithms. All right, so this is one of the reasons why I say it's the best in the world. But I'm going to be using RNG, guys, just to demonstrate how this works. And it's really, really simple. I'm going to be populating these algorithms. I'm going to try and make it quick too. I don't like to do a long video. I understand the attention span of most people is every bit of 2 minutes, right? But we're talking about real money, and we're talking about real results that we're achieving. My team yesterday, I think we were averaging yesterday about 10 to 15 units each yesterday. I mean, every day we're winning, but yesterday everyone had about 10 to 15, and they only played maybe an hour, hour and a half, by the way. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put in some outcomes into the software, and we're going to simulate this using RNG. RNG is no good to do live. All right. It's great to practice. I believe that this particular one may not be attuned to hit a certain threshold and start. There's some type of code that starts literally playing against whatever you're doing, because we never experience crazy stuff like that when we do it live. We never do. All right. So I'm going to have to dismiss this guy. He wants to log in. So I have users already trying to log in. You saw that, guys, right? So he's trying to log in. I can't do it. I'm doing a recording. Let me text him really quick. Let me text him 30 minutes. All right. So let me finish this recording. I'm just going to demonstrate how this is working and how we absolutely thrash this game. And guys, listen, if you're serious about this industry, as you should be, because if you understand economics, if you understand trading and time and money, you're doing this anyway. You're just doing it on a job where the risk, you don't have to think. You just go to work and you do your job. And here you don't have to think. I've actually done all the thinking for you. You just have to follow instructions here. But what happens is that we don't think that this is any different. We think this is different than how you would go about your life. You're trading time and money in this world. That's how we exist. That's how the world works. And in this model, we're able to trade time and money in variables that create outcomes that are repeating. That's the reason why I could like right now we have 100% on Algo 1. So we're going to play on Algo 1. Now, I didn't know this before until I developed this. This is the reason why making money in this market is really easy for us now. And I can guarantee you success here. I can guarantee you the success, because I can guarantee you that no one can disprove that we can't be successful short and long term. No one. All right, so we won that one. And I'm willing, again, I'm willing to put everything on the line to prove it. That's the reason why I say, if you have a team and you want to do this, the only thing you have to do is send me an email and try it out. And you could do 1,000 RNG samples. You can do 1,000 real world examples. You can plug them in however you choose. But I can guarantee you one thing. This absolutely works like a charm. Now it does. But not that it didn't before, but at the speed of which we're able to do it, it works like a charm. So you can see here, algorithm 1 is at 100% and we just won. I wouldn't have known that this was the combination we needed to play. We could have easily been playing here and been unaware that we should be changing somehow. We would have been unaware. The volatility is happening amongst these three. Well, unless you have a breakout like this, you wouldn't know that. And that's the reason why when you have a static strategy, you run into volatility unawares or within timing, because you don't have a way of knowing. You don't have a way of knowing. You just have a basic strategy that's static. It never changes and it never adjusted. All right, so we're going to stick right here on Algo 1 until it loses. So we're going to play right here again on Banker. Player comes out and we're going to do a double bet on positive trend, which is Banker. So we'll do 2 units on Banker. And as you could see here, Banker won, and we populate the algorithm and it wins again. So algorithm 1 won again. Look at where the volatility is happening. You can't get this in trading. You can't get this anywhere. And if you can, show me where you can, but show me if you can show me that, because I think there are some trading apparatuses that does historical data trends. Historical data trends doesn't tell you what's happening right now. It just tells you what happened in the past. And you could be off for the next 3 months. We'll never be off more than a session. Even if we're off, we're never off because this thing can trap the volatility and define it by the game. All right, by the trade. And it doesn't matter. We could do this a million times. All right, so this is positive. We're going to play a positive trend on player. It wins. Now, I could have easily been playing something else and I would have lost. All right, so let's do another outcome. All right, so I'm going to populate this. Look at Algo 3. Algo 3 is experiencing all the volatility. All right, so we're going to give ourselves 1 unit here. And again, you could do this as a team. You can do this as a team. But the volatility is pretty much trapped right here in 3. And we are taking advantage of the highest performing one, which is 1. And we don't have to sit here and just play it all day. We get our units and we leave. But the thing is, we could play it all day because it's always going to perform pretty much the exact same way. Now, there may be times where we lose, but we never lose in terms of blowing bankrolls or losing money unless you're just gambling, and we don't gamble. So, all right, so we're going to go right here on the positive trend. So we're going to put our chip on player. Banker comes out and we're going to do a double on player. And player comes out. Now watch this, guys. Okay, look at this. Player comes out. You see this kind of trend pattern, right? You see how it's going banker, player, banker, and it literally did that and we were able to win here. Well, this is what algorithms do. They are, well, if you develop one. Well, first of all, you got to develop one in terms of, you got to understand the patterns of the game, one. But then to be able to do this, to be able to pinpoint it that accurately, this is just perfect because of the way it was trending. Not to suggest it couldn't have lost, but this is a predictive algorithm that's further predicted by going by placing all 4 algorithms in here and deciphering which one is most volatile versus which one is not. All right, let's just get up to 5 units, and then I'll cut it off at 5. But we're gonna stick right here at algo 1. Now, you know what? Never mind. Let's just go all the way through it. Let's just go all the way through the whole thing just to see what it looks like. All right, this is the reason why I'm using RNG, because it just makes it a little faster for me to do this. But again, don't think about, well, if you're the kind of guy that's saying, this doesn't work because he's not showing real money. Listen, if you think that playing a real game, the outcomes that are random that you don't know that's coming next are different than any other type of random outcome, you're already defeated, because you're already in a mental block based on the lack of knowledge. And again, I'm an open book. Like, you can come and try this. Like, I'm not saying that, hey, we're going to use RNG, but you know, you have to purchase something in order to use it. No, you can come here and disprove it first. Then you can say, oh, that doesn't work, so I'm not gonna join this program. You could easily do that. That way, you know, you could figure out. So we're at 5 units. I'm gonna go all the way through. I'm gonna try and go until it loses, because honestly, it's when it loses is when we actually have even a higher probability wager. All right. So we're gonna go positive here on player. We should win, definitely. I'm sure we're gonna win. Let's see, well, let me not talk too soon. All right, this is gonna, well, let's just play first. Banker here, all right, so this may be the loser. Maybe, all right, it's not. All right, now I'm gonna tell you why it's not. You see how this is, you see how consistent player, banker, banker. You see that consistency? This algorithm is deciphering those patterns. But if I weren't able to break this out, I could easily be playing any other type of trend, and I could easily be losing right now. But because of this algorithm, I'm able to see and trap the volatility. You can't, well, I'm not saying you can't do it, but I don't know where else this exists. And pretty much right now, I'm really dirt cheap, because we're making the money. And the only thing I'm going to be requiring is a small weekly fee and a tip. That's it. That is it. And all right, so we're going to be right back here on the positive trend again. So let's put our chip on banker. Player comes out. So it's starting to become slightly volatile. So we're going to do a double on banker. And I'm saying slightly because we're winning on the second hand versus the first, if we want to classify that as volatility. But when I tell you guys, we're doing this seriously with real money. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys the text that I get from my users, maybe on the next video, because every day, I mean, we're on a couple platforms. We normally text each other, but we are on Viber, I think it's called. And so people will text me through there. I'm going to send you guys the screenshots of their texting. And I even may do a video with them all on the call with me, so that you guys can hear it directly from him. But it's not about hearing anything. It's about knowing it. All right. You know, because I'm not really into, oh, he said that, she said that. I'm into knowing, does it work or does it? Is the mathing or is it not? Period. Is RNG working with me so that I could show you this? You know what I mean? I am so excited, as you guys could possibly tell. I've never done anything this great. I'm grateful for the patience. Well, it's not like I really had any choice. I had to be patient. So look at this, guys. You see this volatility? You see how it's lost in Algo 4? We could have easily, if we didn't know how to extrapolate and see it this way, We could have easily been taking these losses, and we have in the past before I was able to do this. But now we don't even have to. So we have algorithm 1 at 100%. We got algorithm 2 at 91%. The reason why you're seeing this volatility like that is because of the way the cards are coming out. And that's what's creating the, we're just able to see it and play it according. That's what makes this incredibly special. Copy, paste, clear. All right, so we're gonna go back here on positive trend player. We should be up for a first game win right here. There we go. Player wins. We get the next outcome. Tie comes out. We omit the tie. We deal again. And banker comes out. All right, so we update the sheet. And we're going to go until this daggone thing loses, and then we'll stop because purely we've gotten the units. But this is how we play. This is exactly how we play. Oh, wait a minute. This one lost, and then the bleeding and algorithm 4 stopped. But again, because we're able to see it by the percentage, which algorithm makes the most sense. So the reason, again, guys, is because the way the cards are shuffled and dealt, all right? Even with RNG, this is not, I don't think this is fixed. This is truly random number generator. But because of the way that the cards are, say, shuffled and then they're presented, we could then see, based on that, which algorithm is performing against it, okay? That's the power of what we're doing. We could see that. We couldn't have, I've never seen a system that could detect that, including any of my own. And they all were good systems. It's just that I couldn't break it down to this point. Now I can. Tie comes out, we repeat. Banker, so let's update this. All right, so we're gonna do a double up on banker. Player comes out, so it loses. All right, so here's what we do when it loses. All right, so it finally lost. We're going to put a -3 there. We're going to put a 1 here. You can see algorithm 1 and 2 are now tied for first place. And we're going to give ourselves a -3. Now, we could easily leave the session at a, I think we're at a +6. We could leave this session at a +6. But what I'm going to do here, this just to show you how this is done. When we lose, we actually are going to virtually watch the next 2 games. Banker, banker. All right, so banker, 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 player. All right, I'm going to plug this in, banker, banker, player. And we're going to populate the sheet because what we're now looking for is to see if there is any change in the top performing algorithm. So it's okay. See, losing is not a problem. It's not a problem because that's just a part of the business. But what we're now able to do is to detect which is going to be the best place to actually make our wager. All right, so you can see the volatility is still hot in algos 3 and 4. Algos 1 and 2 just won. So let's go and do another virtual game because algos 1 or 2 may lose the next one, and that's going to help determine whether we're going to play on either one. So that was a banker, banker, and banker. I think we should have a loser here. Banker, banker, banker. All right, so algorithm 1 won, algorithm 2 lost. So it's clear that this next game we're going to be playing on algorithm 1. All right, so let's copy, paste, clear. Let's deal. Tie comes out, we put the outcome. Tie comes out again. Player. All right, so we're gonna go back positive and we're gonna go on banker and we'll put a little extra on here We'll go up a few units. I normally will tell us to do something like 5 because this bet, we just won it. Because we waited 2 and we're able to give an even more of an accurate description on the highest performer. Remember, for every game we play, we're going to win 3 of the 4. So when we weighted these 2 and we played here, it only gave us an even higher probability, even though we're at 94% anyway. All right. So anyway, guys, you could see here that was a winner, and all the other ones may or may not have lost. And ordinarily, I'm gonna say ordinarily, but one of the things I teach my guys, this bet right here is a 90+% just inherently, without even going on the highest performing algo. It's a 94% bet or 90+% bet wager, and of course we increased here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right here at a +9. And but listen, guys, if you have a team, you could do this with a team. As I mentioned before, playing with teams is better because number one, we're making the money. We're making the money. I'm not like all these other guys. Okay, I can literally through math quantify my results. And I could even quantify my results through time. I could even tell you how much time it's going to take to be profitable, or how much time it would take for you to lose anything. Like, I know it to that level, right? So I'm not interested in showing a whole bunch of people making a bunch of money. I'm here to show you guys mathematics and probability and statistics, period. And I could back what I say up. So if you're serious about doing it, send me an email, permutationspro@gmail.com. If you have a team, just let me know you want to do team play, or if you want to do this as an individual, that's very fine, well, and dandy as well. All right. I 100% guarantee you the success. It's literally impossible for us not to be successful. It's impossible. The reason why it's impossible is because you will always have outlier algorithms. You can't have volatility in all 4. Like, you can't have this happening in all 4 of them. It's impossible, guys. That's the reason why I say it's impossible for us to lose, because it's impossible for volatilities like this. Or even like, you see it's happening in 2. It's impossible for it to happen in all 4. Mathematically impossible. We win 3 of the 4. So this sort of volatility can't happen in all 4, literally. So that's the reason why I say, if you wanted to challenge it, I would certainly love that you do, because that way you know for sure that this is the winning ticket. I can't say I'm going to be around here for long. Stay tuned to the channel. I got more coming. I'm going to be doing this with roulette. I just got to spend the time to actually come up with the right formula for roulette. Roulette variables are different, even though there's red and black. The variables that are creating red and black are not the same variables that are creating banker and player. Now, if you don't understand what that means and you're playing the game, then you're gambling. If you do not understand what's behind player and banker, the variables that are creating that, if you do not understand the variables that are behind red and black and roulette, you're gambling. You don't know enough about your business. And this is business. Anytime you're exchanging your time for money, you're in business. And wouldn't you want to be in a business that you know about? Wouldn't you want to be good at what you do? Or are you simply just here to get lucky? Well, we're not here to get lucky, guys. We're here to win, and that's exactly what we're doing. Permutationspro@gmail.com. Let me know if you like to test it, try it. There's 0 cost for it. And even when you're starting to do this, guys, only thing I would ask for is a small weekly fee, just to keep, because I'd have to be here all day while you guys are here. Small fee, but then just a tip. Like, once you, at the end of the week, you just send me a nice tip from your earnings. Okay, that's all I require. And if you guys could do that, I'm going to make sure you guys are making a lot of money, period. Point blank, period. And I think I've got the total knockout system. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I've never seen anything like it come from me or anyone. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that because I'm sounding boastful. I'm just excited about the opportunity that we're having here today, and all of my users are having success. I'm going to show you more of that, but again, I admonish anyone who's serious about making money in this market to come and see what we're saying. Come and test it out, and see if this, whatever data, whatever outcomes you put in, so as long as it's not live RNG. If you're on a live RNG where real money, I will say do not do that. Don't do it. Only play live games, because that's the real simulation of randomness. You can see the cards, you can see them being dealt. All right, you can't see anything with RNG. I'm only using this for demonstration purposes, just to make this quick. But even with this, we still have success. It's just that I know if we do this live, it could easily be attuned to hit a threshold and literally play it against you. That's an easy computer code. Easy. With that said, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. More coming, a lot more great content coming your way. Till the next time, take care.